Hey, Tommy from the Run Testers, and this is my first run of the Altra Provision 8. Let's dive in. The Altra Provision 8 costs £125 or $140. It weighs 282 grams or 9.9 ounces for men in a size 8, and the drop is 0mm. The Altra Provision 8 takes the brand's zero drop design and includes medial GuideRail technology to add support and stability. There's an Altra EGO midsole foam designed to balance comfort and responsiveness, and it features Innerflex grooves to improve the natural feel and flexibility of the shoe. Like all of Altra's shoes, there's a wide toe box to allow your feet to move around freely without restriction, and a secure midfoot to provide a lockdown fit. The upper is made from an engineered mesh for comfort and breathability, while the refined heel collar ensures that the foot stays in place with a soft, padded design. So fit for me in the Provision 8, I'm a size 8, this is a size 8 in the UK. It's an Altra shoe, so there is lots of space in the forefoot. There's loads of room in the forefoot. If you want to splay your feet, which is the whole design of it really, there's loads of room in that. There's plenty of space between the toe and the forefoot. I found that I could get a really nice lockdown fit in it. There's plenty of padding in it as well. It's a very comfortable shoe. Definitely enjoyed it on that first run, and I would stay to my size in this shoe. So my first run in the Altra Provision 8 was a 5-mile run around the local park, and that was at my steady pace, which is like 5-minute kilometers. And I enjoyed it to an extent. Altra shoes, because they're zero drop, I have found that some of them can feel a little bit tricky to wear. I'm not used to zero drop, and I can sometimes feel a little bit awkward in them. I sometimes feel like my ankles are putting a bit more effort than I'm used to, which is not surprising because I'm used to using much higher drop shoes normally. But what I found about the Provision 8 is that it did feel a little bit more comfortable to me than some of the Altra shoes. That stability element in it, I didn't really notice the stability as such. I don't think I've ever noticed any instability in an Altra shoe before anyway. Maybe the zero drop design is relatively stable anyway. I definitely don't feel like they're wobbly or anything like that. But I did actually enjoy the shoe a little bit more than some of the other Altra shoes I've tried. And I'm not necessarily a stability runner. I've been told by some gait analysis that I should probably be looking at stability shoes, but I don't really use them that much. But I have been doing a lot more testing of stability shoes recently. And on that run, I did feel like the stability elements added a little bit to the shoe. They actually made it feel a little bit less natural, which you do get with a lot of Altra shoes, which isn't a bad thing. But it did feel a little bit more rigid to me, which I did enjoy on the run. And I definitely noticed that side of it. I definitely felt like there was a little bit of a firmer ride to this, a little bit more rigidity, which I enjoyed. I thought it was quite nice. The pace I was running at was pretty easy. I found that when I tried to pick up the pace in it, I couldn't pick up the pace in it. Absolutely no way I could pick up. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel comfortable, and I just couldn't do it at all. But at a nice, slow, easy pace for me, it felt absolutely fine. I think that's the sweet spot for this shoe. I'm not a zero drop runner, so it'd probably take me a while to get used to a zero drop shoe in order to be able to run faster in it anyway. But I definitely felt that this felt pretty comfortable over that 5-mile run at the pace I was running. So that was fine. The grip on the outsole was absolutely fine. It was pretty wet and slippy today. No issues at all on the outsole. Felt fine to me. Felt very comfortable overall. Apart from that, I think it was just a solid first run. And probably the most enjoyable shoe from Altra that I've tested. And I think that's just because that stability element maybe helps me as a non-zero drop runner and just gives me a little bit more support for that zero drop, which I'm not used to. So maybe it's a good option if you are looking to go zero drop, but you're not too sure on which shoe to go for. I was surprised that I actually would like this more than some of the other Altra shoes. So my early verdict on the Altra Provision 8 is that it's interesting. I wasn't sure what a zero drop stability shoe would feel like. Normally stability shoes have elements in them to stop a shoe feeling unstable, obviously, or wobbly. I don't ever feel that from Altra shoes anyway. I don't think I've ever felt an Altra shoe where there was any instability at all. So I was quite interested to see what a stability version of an Altra shoe was. And I liked it. I think it just adds a little bit of support into the shoe. It just makes the shoe feel a little bit less flexible. And that rigidity actually helps my style of running a bit more. So I felt a bit more comfortable in these than I do in a lot of Altra's shoes. I've said in other reviews that I probably wouldn't want to go that high in terms of distance in an Altra shoe. When I was testing the Timp 4, it just, when I got to about 10k, I could just really feel that my legs weren't really designed for it or weren't used to it. Whereas with this one, I didn't feel that. When I got to that 5 mile point, I felt absolutely fine. I felt I could go a lot longer in it. So maybe this is a shoe that is better suited to new runners who are trying zero drop or the Altra zero drop design. So definitely interested to see how that pans out. Okay, so that's it from me on this first run review. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the little bell. And if you go to the caption below, you can find a link to our podcast, which comes out at the end of each month. Catch you next time.